it's not so much a question as an apology to you, Paul, because
right.
on 2 occasions, first occasion was in Manchester in June 1984. Me and my mate went to see the Fall at the Hacienda. Beforehand, we were having a couple of beers in the Britain's Protection pub. We came out of there not knowing where the Hacienda was, where the gig was taking place. And this bloke was walking past, and I just said to him, "Hey mate, can you tell us where the Hacienda is?" And this guy pointed down there, and walked off towards the Hacienda, and I realised afterwards it was you. On another occasion, which was fairly recently, about a year ago, we were in Bristol to see Half Man Half Biscuit, and Karen nudged me and said, "There's Paul Hanley there."
Where were we?
In Bristol, in the Rough Trade record shop, and Karen nudged me and said, "There's Paul Hanley there," and I didn't hear her. And I said, "Oh."
I was trying to whisper.
Paul
so
Hanley. Paul Hanley. And I says, "Oh." And who were you? And I think we thought you took offence and you just walked out of the shop. So I want to apologise on 2 occasions. I've not recognised you.
So the first time, when it was the height of my pop career,
exactly.
you didn't know who I was.
Yeah.
The second time, you weren't even going to the bleeding gig.
So apologies. I just
not accepted.
After being many other occasions when people have not recognised you.
Oh yeah. All the time.
1983, I went.
Just not tell me.
Yeah. I got dragged on the bus by this guy to see a band in Wakefield. Hellfire Club, you guys played.
Yeah.
I think it was Brix's first gig. I'd never heard you before. 2 drummers singing songs about football hooligans and lorry drivers, and it's just fantastic. It changed my thoughts on music and how I appreciate music in future. Have you ever been to a gig as good as that? You know, you might not that changed your.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd have to be some kind of a tosser to say I've never been to a gig as good as the one I played in Wakefield. But I mean, yes, I have. Yeah.
What that changed your musical thoughts? And,
changed my musical thoughts. Public Image Limited. I saw them twice. Not the original lineup, because they had Jim Walker on drums on the album, but I think he only did 3 or 4 gigs. But we went to. They played it at Bellevue, and it was like 2 months after Public Image, the first album, came out, which is still to this day. And they played, and they were lousy. They had a drummer who they picked up that day, I think. He didn't know the songs, and Keith Levine, the ever-friendly Keith Levine, was trying to teach him the songs as they went along, and they played they must have played 30 minutes, and one of them was Belson Was a Gas, so they were clearly struggling for material.
Yeah.
But then, in 1979, the Public Image did this secret gig. They were on some Granada programme, and they did this secret gig at the Factory in the Russell Club, obviously in Hume. Nobody knew about it, but as it turned out, Carl Burns was working as a doorman at the, and we got to hear about it, and so we went down. I was only 15, maybe even just up, and we managed to get in, and we were queuing to get in, and the bouncer said, "There's no way you're 18, you can't come in here." And Tony Wilson said, "Oh, go on, let him in. He's been in the queue 20 minutes." So I got in, and Public Image played that night, and they were basically practicing the songs of Metal Box, mostly, but that was, and they were all in a fantastic mood. Even Keith Levine smiled at one stage. But they were just fantastic. They had Richard Dudansky on the drums, who was in the 101ers, and he was brilliant. And the first time, I'm reliably informed that it was the first time Jar Wobble stood up to play the bass. So that gig is seared into my memory as just like, it was just fantastic. Pete Shelley was there. Pete Shelley was sat in the bar talking to John Lydon.
Yeah.
And it was magnificent, that gig, and it was really rag-ass. They would obviously didn't know the songs properly, but the difference between that and when because that was built up as like they were playing this massive venue in Bellevue, King's Hall, and they were just shocking. But that gig, it was just like this is what this band is just incredible, and obviously they were when Metal Box came out.
Did you sense at the time, that sort of 83, 84 period, how good you guys were? Did you have a sense that you're an important band?
No, I had a sense that that I loved what we were doing, but it's a difficult thing to know how important you are. I mean, you don't want to know, do you? You would be. Do you want to be walking around thinking we're the most important band in the world? You'd be Morrissey, wouldn't you?
Truly wonderful, Paul.
Yeah.
Good night, God bless you, and happy trails.